Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. We are once again going to be looking at that Barca against Getafe game, finished 0-0 of course, but there's one person that I want to specifically focus on in this video, and that's Ousmane Dembélé, because obviously he came off the bench. To be fair to him, it didn't quite work out, but we don't really know right now how match fit he is, how he's feeling in his body. Of course, not only one injury, but two really poor injuries this season for him. One that was very long term, 3 to 4 months he was out for in that time. One very recently, just when he was getting back up to spirits, knocked down again after that Real Sociedad win. So it's really interesting right now to know where Dembélé is in terms of where his head's at, where his mentality is at, what kind of thing he's feeling when he's out on the pitch, because you've seen him today, and I think in these moments that we're going to see in this video, there's a few times where he's not confident, maybe in his body, maybe in himself, and he just needs a bit of reassurance, a bit of confidence, and I just think we need to get behind him. In these moments, we're all frustrated. I was frustrated after the game, I still am, that we dropped points, but at the end of the day, we've got to stand by our players, stand by the team. And in this video, we're going to look at Dembélé's performance, looking at what he did well, looking at what he didn't do so well. But overall, just get behind him. We've got to remember, he's 20 years old. This was just his 5th La Liga appearance. And in that time, he's made just 170 minutes of football. That's not even 2 full games. So this guy, 20 years old, in a new league, in a new country, still very young, still very raw. We knew that he'd have to develop, and that is what we're seeing right before our eyes. And we need to get behind him and support him, because I believe personally it will be worth the wait. But in this game, we are going to see him now take some moments on. Obviously, he came on not too long after half time, on about the 60th minute mark. He came on, Valverde leaving it. Now, we've got to bear in mind it was 0-0, so I don't know whether it was always the plan to bring Dembélé on at this time, or whether simply Valverde was forced to do it. Ideally, we wanted to be 2 or 3 goals up, bring him on the last 15 to 20 minutes, and let him have a run at a poor Getafe side maybe, who'd been battered defensively. That didn't happen though. He came on at 0-0 in a tense game, a tense atmosphere at the Camp Nou, and it wasn't ideal conditions for somebody like this to be coming off the bench and having it back. You can see him here running in behind. That's what we lacked. We did lack that, but it was in moments like this he seemed very hesitant. I think quite a few times he hung on to the ball much longer than what he should have done, and I think the reasoning behind that maybe is that he's so desperate to make an impact. Coming on in a game like this, he wanted to be the star, he wanted to be the hero, and we didn't see him move the ball on quick enough, often enough. You can see him here, he plays it straight back to Lionel Messi. That's what he needs to do. Get the ball, run in behind, make your runs. You can see him here again looking for that width. You can see him driving at Getafe. That's all very good, but again, you've got to be making your decision there. He hangs onto it, he dawdles, he doesn't really get his head up and have a look around, but again, he's 20 years old. All of this sort of things come with experience, come with age, come with games in the league, with your new teammates. Again, really good play. You watch that back again there. He picks the ball up from deep, and what he does is he just moves with it, and that's what you want to see from Ousmane Dembélé. Picking the ball up deep, running on with it, making your play, and making sure you're stretching Getafe. And you can see here, he's got Roberto outside him, and then he plays him in. That's fine. I think there what Dembélé did was very good. Gets back to his feet, and then that's what he needs to work on there, his final product, and I think that simply comes from him being a bit nervous. I think that's what it was there, because he actually gets his head up, he looks into the box, but he still makes the mistake playing the ball there when there's nobody there. And then he's getting the ball in these kind of areas. Dembélé wasn't afraid today to come inside and get it. I think he wasn't just stuck out on that right, he wasn't afraid to come and look for the ball, so that's a good sign. Being 20 years old, coming and being available, again, very good. He comes inside here, he has a run, he has a go, he's fouled, so again, that shows confidence. That's what we need to be seeing from Dembélé, that direct running style, drawing defenders, then creating space for other players, and he plays a very, very good ball in here for Yerry Mina. An out-swinging corner is a good height, there's good pace on it, he picks him out. Obviously, Yerry Mina is the intended target. You can see there, very, very good ball in. He also played another ball in as we go into this video, we'll see that, and for, you know, by no means today was it a perfect performance from Dembélé. Like I say, there was times where he picks the ball up, he dawdles on it, he doesn't move it quick enough. You can see him here, he does keep his width very, very well. I think in games against Chelsea and games like that, maybe he won't start the game, but that will certainly help us. Somebody who can stretch the pitch, giving everybody else more space, more time, and that was really good. Dembélé here playing the simple ball again. Wasn't the most accurate pass, they're very simple, but he doesn't quite do it well, and I think as a 20-year-old, there must be some nerves there at the Camp Nou. There must be. Moving it on there to Sergio Roberto, no problem with that. He recognises the run, and that's another thing. The more games that he plays with Roberto, the more games that he plays on that right-hand side, he'll get to have an understanding. He'll get to understand the game a lot more. He keeps the ball in play here from Alba, plays the simple pass, no problem there with that. Again, you see him there on the right. He knows his position, he understands that well, and he's picking it up. He has a little look up with his head. That's a good ball. Again, nothing wrong with that. Good ball in behind to Suarez, and again, as time goes on, he'll understand the runs more. He'll be able to see things, because you've got to remember at Dortmund, he was a serial creator, a creator of chances, really, really impressive in terms of creating things and making those passes. You can see here though, not good enough with the pass there to Lionel Messi. That's intercepted. So again, something that may be a bit rusty. You've got to remember this is a guy that's been out for months and months and months. And I think here with Dembélé, he's actually very harshly done by. You can see him here, he's right on the shoulder of the defender. He just checks his run. And if you look at the replay here, I'm not actually convinced with this one that he is offside. He's looking for it from Lionel Messi. He can see right along the line. I think actually Damian Suarez, the right back there, might just be playing him on. It's a very, very tight one, but that's what you're going to get from Dembélé there. Again, that's the uncertainty that I'm talking about. That really there is what I'm talking about with Dembélé. In those kind of areas at Borussia Dortmund, he was deadly. He was clinical. He was fantastic. He looked as though he knew what he was going to do right before he got the ball. But instead here, in this kind of moment, he doesn't look like he knows. He doesn't look like he's certain in what he's going to do. He looks undecisive, and that's not what you want from a player of his quality. And that's something I definitely think will definitely come with time, with confidence. And again, he picks the ball up here. He's undecided. He's not really sure what he's going to do. He doesn't really commit to anything. He's looking for options. He doesn't find any. And the thing is, he just allows him in the end just to get the ball taken off him. And obviously every challenge that comes into Dembélé, you're worrying right now. But like I say, somebody who's coming off the back of injuries, it's going to take some time to get your flow, to get your fitness, to get your mentality right as well. Again, indecisive. He looks to Paulinho, doesn't come off. There wasn't a lot of conviction in the pass. And that's what I think today with Dembélé. In the things that he did well, he was very good at holding his width. He had some good runs. He was direct in the way that he plays. All things and all characteristics that'll help us. But when he was looking to pass, when he was looking to do the things that we know he's very good at, there wasn't enough decisive nature behind those passes. There wasn't enough confidence behind what he was doing. And that's maybe a case of him being out for a long time, not really being established in this team right now. He's desperate to prove himself. Make no mistake about that. You can see this. This is one moment of absolute magic from Dembélé that very nearly resulted in a goal. That was absolutely pinnacle Dembélé down the right-hand side. Classic Dembélé in his play, getting past his man, getting a phenomenal cross in the box. That's just not a hit and hope. He's not just hoping to find Luis Suarez there. He's looking for him. He pinpoints him out. It's a brilliant header from Suarez. So unlucky that we haven't scored. And that moment of magic there could very easily, like I say, have led to that goal. So that's what we want to be seeing from Dembélé. The nature to go past players, the willingness to go past your marker, and then get that good quality final ball in the box. But unfortunately today, we didn't see enough of it. You've got to remember as well, he was only on the pitch for 30 minutes, so that comes into it too. He's certainly one of the best crosses in the team, no doubt about that. We saw that with the clip that we've just seen. And I think here, in the final moments, obviously, at the Camp Nou, you're desperate to get a goal. You're desperate, like I say, to make an impression. This is really unfortunate. I'm really sad at that moment, really, because Dembélé there has the ball. He can put it in himself. He tries to play it on. It doesn't work out. And you can see by his expression that he's obviously disappointed. I think he's going to be disappointed as anybody right now. But I just think a lot of comments, obviously, a lot of people frustrated with Dembélé right now. And I can understand that. I can understand frustration with the team in general. It wasn't a good display today. But I think to pinpoint all that anger on Dembélé, to label him a flop very, very early on, I think is really harsh right now. Like I say, 5 La Liga games is what he's played, 170 minutes. That is nowhere near enough time to judge somebody. Obviously, he comes in with a big price tag, so I can understand why the expectations are high. We paid a lot of money for him. There's no getting away from that. He is going to have to perform, but I think we need to give him the right platform, the right situation to do that. We're going to see him again against Eibar, and then we're going to see him against Chelsea for sure. But the most important thing now with Dembélé is to get behind him, to give him some confidence, to give him some belief in himself, so we can see moments like that cross into Suarez where it's so good, where that creativity and that width and that directness and that pace, that's all going to help us massively. And if we can get that side at Dembélé, he is going to be a very, very good signing. But we've got to start seeing that, and I believe we will start seeing that given the time, given the consistency in the team. If he can start playing week in, week out, avoid these injuries, I think the one thing he does have to do as well, and I think a lot of people have highlighted this, he needs to get himself in the gym. And that's not a personal insult at Dembélé. I just think you sort of draw similarities between when Neymar joined and when Dembélé joined. When Neymar joined, he was a very, very skinny guy. He was a young player coming to a new league, first time in Europe, and he was getting kicked up in the air every single weekend in La Liga. Dembélé, quite similar. He's very, very thin. He's very slim, of course, in his build and his body type. And I think if he can just bulk up a bit, get a bit more muscle mass on him, that's what you need to do, because you can avoid those kind of injuries then, these little niggly things which have been holding him back so far in his Barcelona career. We really didn't buy the finished article from Borussia Dortmund. That was never going to be the case. Nobody ever thought that Dembélé was coming here as the finished article. He was always brought in as a raw talent, but he is one of the best raw talents in the world, one of the best young talents out there right now. There's no debate about that. When you see Dembélé at full fitness, in the way that he can play, the way that he can suit our style of play, especially under Valverde, the way we play, we will be seeing the best of Dembélé, and he'll help us enormously. But right now, get behind him, don't lose faith, keep that belief in him. We have to give him confidence. He will thrive on that confidence, and we have to give it to him. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Like I say, I've seen a lot of comments about Dembélé, both good and bad. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. I can completely understand that. Those who are upset, I can understand it. You know, it's a big price tag. We want to be seeing him. And I think those who are maybe frustrated with Dembélé, it's more because they want to see him do well. Everybody right now wants to see Dembélé become the player that we know he can. But it's so important now that over the next few weeks he gets consistent games, that he keeps himself injury free, that he keeps working on himself to build himself up a bit in terms of his body type, and then we can see the best Dembélé and the Dembélé that we're all desperate to see as soon as possible. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys, on Dembélé's performance today and what you expect from him in the coming future. And as always, guys, I will see you very soon indeed with more videos. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça!